Good evening, Mr. William Payne. One of our speakers has joined us. Tiffany Uday is here with us as well. The other two speakers. I'm about to start the video. Y'all joining?
Huh?
I'm about to start the video. Y'all joining?
What video?
The Facebook video.
What do you mean?
The Facebook video for the Youth Summit.
You about to start it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I need y'all to either put him up or keep him outside. Yeah. You can close the door, please. All right, we got 1 minute left.
Until what?
Till it starts.
Who's all on it?
The speakers. All right, here we go. It's 5 o'clock. So, good evening, all my people in the surrounding areas, Owensboro, Evansville, Louisville. I am glad that you are joining me today, or this evening, for the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit. The theme is Shock the System. So before we do get started with it, I do want to give you a little background of the history of the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit. So I've been hosting events for the past 13 years. Yes, it has been 13 years since 2007 that I've been doing the youth summits. I got the idea from Miss Robin Tutt Williams when she was one of the workers down at the old Nebula Center building. Me and her used to always talk as far as some of the differences that we had compared to the kids nowadays. And we always come up with that question, like, what is something positive that we can do? And the first thing I thought of, why not continue the process of bringing in motivational speakers? And that's when I got the idea of doing the Youth Summit. And for this event, I am dedicating this one to one of my role models. Many of you know him as Mr. Chris Hunt. The reason why I'm dedicating this to him is because he was one of those mentors who took a lot of us young men under his wings during his time here. He always encouraged us. He always did whatever he could so that he would make sure that we was on the right path in life. He always told us his stories, everything that he's been through. So when I did the first Youth Summit event, he was one of the first speakers because of the history that he had as far as with the kids and the youth he made a huge impact on a lot of us. So that's why I'm dedicating this event to him. Rest in peace. We definitely miss you. You had a big heart on you, and we're still doing what we can as far as to helping the youth in our community, which is why I came up with the youth summit events here in Owensboro. So for those who's been following me for the past years, as far as what I've been doing with the summits, always coming up with some kind of topic, speeches, so that we could bring awareness in our community. As some of you are aware, we had a tragic event that just happened last week where another young person's life was gone due to violence. And people was asking the question, well, what can we do with the youth? Well, I'm just telling you all right now, there are people, there are organizations that are doing things as far as to bringing awareness for the youth. But it's up to you as parents to make your kids attend these events. Like what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I've been doing it for 13 years. And if I showed you the attendance that's been at every event, you'll be like, wow, what's going on? And sometimes it did kind of bother me as far as the low attendance. But what I did do was continue on with it because I cannot let a few people defer me as far as for what God has for me. So that's why I continue doing it. I know it helps somebody. And that's why I hope this event helps someone as well. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce to you all the first speaker. So again, a little bio. So the first speaker that I have, let me join her in first. Yes. Oh, also go ahead, share this video. So for all the adults, the ones who share this video, and you also need to tag your name in the comments. Tag and share. You will be entered into a drawing for this gift card to Olive Garden. $25 gift card to Olive Garden. But you have to share the event and tag your name to be entered into that drawing. The winner will be announced tomorrow. And also, after the video is over, this video, have your kids that's watching with you do a 30-second video explaining what they learned from this youth summit, and they will be entered in for this $25 gift card to McDonald's. What? So we got McDonald's and we got Olive Garden. $25 just for you sharing the video, tagging your name, liking it. We need to support. We need to support one another. So once you do the video, make sure that you share it on the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit Facebook page. Once your child does the 30-second video, share it on the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit Facebook page. Not hard to find at all. So let me bring to you the first speaker. Let me add her on. Let's see. Just bear with me just 1 second. There we go. So we got the invite out. See once you join in. Are you there, Tiffany? And again, you all, thank you all for joining and watching. So just kind of bear with us. This is definitely something different because we cannot meet in person. But we still need to get the word out as far as what we can for these youth. So we'll try it one more time. Let me try this. All right, I did send you an invite. Did you get that invite to join in the conversation? And don't forget, y'all, share this video, post your name if you want to be entered in for the drawing. Didn't get the invite. Hold 1 second. Cause it's not letting me invite you again. So I sent it to you and Uday. Is there a way that both of you all can try to get on it? Well, let me try to. I'm gonna come back with you. Let me see if we can try to get Reverend Payne on. So hold on 1 second. All right, Reverend Payne, I just invited you. See if you got the invite.
Greetings,
There
good
we go.
brother. Greetings. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing, sir?
I can't complain, man. I am still in the land of the living, which is always a good thing. I don't believe like if you're on your computer or your desktop, it allows you to accept the invite. It wouldn't allow me. I had to actually switch over to my phone. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe that's something that they may have to look into because I have you on two different screens. Um,
Okay. Okay.
it wouldn't allow me to add you on my laptop. So.
Okay. So, Tiffany, give that a try, and I'm gonna come back with you to see if that works. Just let me know, and I come right back to you. So, before we get started, let me give you a quick introduction of the Reverend William Payne. He is the executive director of Boss Inc., and that is a community organization designed to help people learn to better their lives. He specializes in teaching youth providers and educators how to create relevant approaches to engage the youth in their programs. His program, Men of Valor, inspires youth to use their education, their skills, and gifts to reach their destiny. He recently took the position of President CEO of the Evansville Black Chamber of Commerce. So again, I want to introduce to you all the Reverend William Payne, and he's going to be speaking on the topic breaking the cycle. And the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a very limited time with a whole lot to say. I want to first thank you for inviting me to this summit. It's truly a blessing and an honor to be here on the 13th year that you are doing this. Just want to
Thank
give you a little bit of background. I'm glad you gave all the good stuff about me. I am the executive director of Boss Inc., which is Brothers Out Saving Souls, where we deal with at-risk youth over here in Evansville, Indiana. Our program, the Men of Valor, which is our mentoring program, we actually deal with kids, teach them etiquette, teach them how to tie ties, resumes, things of that nature. I say that because we've dealt with over 400 kids. We have a youth basketball league, a youth football league, and a youth baseball league that we actually run over here in our city. Um, I have been blessed to run that program since 2016, and I started the program when I directly came home from federal prison, which where I did 10 years in federal prison. Um, I don't hide behind my past because I believe that my past is what made me who I am today.
you.
But you know the good stuff about me. Let me give you a little idea of what I was like in the streets. I started being in the streets at the age of 14. Got my first pack or my first whatever sack that you know the kids call it nowadays, where I started smoking weed and drinking, and then I started selling drugs. By the age of 21. I was actually buying my own 2 kilos of cocaine at that time. Um, I was out in the streets selling drugs. I came from a good background. As you know, my father was the pastor of Memorial Baptist Church. We was blessed to be there before Reverend Brooks. Reverend Brooks is still my pastor. That is my home church. But I rebelled, and when I rebelled heavy because I felt like I did not want to go down the same path that my father that went down because I felt like his shoes was too big for me to fill. By the age of 32, um, the city of Evansville and Judge Young said that I was responsible for 60% of the drugs that actually came through this city. All of this stuff is stuff that you can look up. You can Google it. You can check on it. At that time, I was in the process of, I guess, moving close to 25 pounds of meth, 10 kilos of cocaine, numerous of pounds of weed. Um, that was when I finally caught my case. What I thought was a place of pain actually ended up being a place of preparation because it was at that time that I met somebody that I truly never knew, and that was myself. I knew I had had a calling on my life before all of this had happened. I had stopped selling drugs for over 2 years before they came and got me. But when they came and got me, it was just a eye-opening experience to let me know that, some things are meant to be. And I took that experience and I took that time to better myself and come up with a plan. People say that when you go to prison or you go to the penitentiary that you cannot come up with a plan. That's not true. You come home and you think because you have a felony on your record or a felony on your jacket that you can achieve greatness in your community. That is absolutely not true. Over 92% of our community, African American males are and have been incarcerated, whether it be state, federal, or on some type of probation. Right now, we have approximately 225,000, and the number is rising of African American males that have been incarcerated. For me, from 2006 all the way to 2018, Judge Young had locked up 1,000 black men in my community from the time of 2006 to 2016. So there is a cycle that definitely needs to be broken. There was a lot of kids that was raised by their mothers. There was a lot of kids raised by their grandparents. And during that time, there was a gap because we had lost all contact and we had lost all personal contact with our kids. Um, One of the things that my mother said to me in the visiting room that still sticks with me today, she asked me, she said, you had all this money, you was at the height of everything that you was doing. Why did you continue to sell drugs? And my response to her was like anybody else. I had to take care of my family. And then she looked me dead in my eyes. She told me, she said, well, who's taking care of me now that you are sitting in here incarcerated, not able to take care of me? So was it worth the little bit of time that you gave up for all the time that you given up with your life? So when I came home, um, I had already had my mind made up that I was going to come home and be the change in my community that my community actually needed. So for me, doing that and working with the kids, that is something that I've really poured my life into, poured my soul into, to try to let these kids know, hey, you can look at me. You can see me. 08343-028 is my federal number. I was a number. I was not a name, brother. I was a number. So you looking at a living testimony. And that is the reason why I do the things that I do in my community right now. So
That's great.
yeah, I mean, you gotta step back and look at it, and think about your life, while we in these streets. Can we come back from the incarcerations? Can we come back from the setbacks? But every setback is only just being put together for a comeback. And I believe that I went in weak and came out stronger because once you
Right.
get to a place in your life where you elevate yourself to the next level, there will be some people that will not be able to elevate to the next level with you. Travo just logged in, which was one of my kids. I love that guy. I've watched him change. I've watched him come through the system since he was like 15 or 16. But I've watched him grow into a young man. And that is something that satisfies me. If I can deter one kid from going to prison, then I feel like I've done my job. So
Right.
for me, my goal here with Boss is brothers out saving souls. And ladies, don't get it twisted. We got a program called Fix Your Crown, where we
Right.
the little girls the same things that we teach the boys as far as etiquette, how to balance a checkbook, how to
Mhm.
be independent, because we have to learn as a community that we need to do for self. As a
Right.
minister, we always hear this when we go to church. The doors of the church is now open.
It's low.
Okay. But we have people on the outside of the church that are waiting on us to come out because they have not come in. So
That's
as
right.
so as missionaries and as ministers of the gospel and keepers of the gospel, it is our job to go out into the community. So that's the reason why, a lot of people say, well, what kind of ministry do you have? It's called street gospel. Because that's what Jesus would have done. Because he was born in a manger in a barn,
Yep.
which is equivalent to an alley in a Colt 45 box. So
You
we have
right.
to go
You
out,
right.
we have to reach those particular people. So we have to come out of the church. We have to come out and get with these kids. We have to let them know that we still care, because we have a generation of kids who don't really understand what it's like to have a big mama's love, or what it's like to have, a
Mhm.
strong father figure in their life. And they turn to the streets to get those figures. And some of
Yeah.
those guys that we call OGs are not leading the kids in the right direction as we should be. I know I'm probably close to
Right.
my time, brother, but if anybody got any questions for me, I am more than open for any questions.
Yes, sir. Well, I do got one question before I do let you go. You
Yes,
kind of already vibed on it already, but what is something that we can do as a community to make sure that we hold on? You still,
you froze up on me, brother.
oh,
What can we do as a community to what?
I apologize. What is something that we can do as a community to make sure that we keep our kids on the right path? You kind of already spoke it, but just to kind of reiterate that, because that's something important that I think we should be doing, not just as a community, but also as a household. What could we do on our end to make sure we keep our youth stayed on the right path?
Well, like we tell our kids, and like I tell kids all the time, because I speak at so many different conventions and summits, I cannot pour into the bottle if you refuse to take the top off. And you have to unscrew the top in order to allow me to pour into you. But the thing
Right.
that we need to do as a community is, while you have men who are standing in the gap for those fathers who are not there, and those fathers that have been incarcerated, we have to
Mhm.
also, you can't allow us to pour into them and then go home and then the pouring stops. It
Right.
takes a village. So as a community, we all have to start to come back together with the same common goal, and that is to make sure that we raise up a powerful generations of kings and queens. And as a
Yes, sir.
community, we all have to start to stand together. The thing that we have, the problem that we have now, is that our generation taught these kids, you're not supposed to tell, you're not supposed to do this. But hey, let me explain something to you. If something happens to somebody that you care and love, it's not telling that you have to speak on whatever it is that happened. So,
Right.
as a community, we have got to start making our kids realize that, we all in this together. We cannot ask for nobody to come and fix our problems if we're not willing to fix it ourselves.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Payne, I definitely do appreciate you. I do wish that we was in a better setting so that we can actually have people, present with us. But I do want you to be aware that I will definitely try to do something once the community starting to get better from this COVID-19. So just please be on the lookout.
Like I
That I
said,
would definitely,
yeah, I
yeah,
will
be trying to
be
bring you
more
back
than
on this.
I'm more than willing to come and do whatever it is to help you with your ministry. And I thank you again for allowing me to be here. Shameless plug, the end of this year, my book, The Cost of My Anointing, will be coming out, and it talks about my life story. So, man, please be on the lookout for that at the end of this year, and make sure you get you a copy, man. You'll be blessed by the book.
Yes, sir. Mr. Payne, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So as you all seen, that was Mr. William Payne from Evansville, Indiana. He is a minister and also has his program going on in the Evansville area. So anybody in the surrounding areas, y'all know that he's working. We can definitely do the same thing here in Owensboro as well. So at this time, let me see if I could get Tiffany back on. Are you there, Tiff? Stepped on it. Oh, hold on. Let's try it again. Oh, it's not working. For some reason it won't connect. Let me try it one more time. Hmm. Let me. I think I know what it is. Go to. Are you on my page? On my Facebook page? If not, go on there and see if it will connect, and we'll definitely try it again. Go to my Facebook page if you can, because it's not putting you through. All right, let me try one more. See if. All right, Sharice, are you there? Let me try it again. Oh, that's coming. Hold on. Connecting. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All
All
right.
right. Let me do a quick introduction for Tiffany. She is 30 years old, originally from Madisonville, but Owensboro is her current home. She attends 4th Street Baptist Church, works at U.S. Bank, and is the treasurer of the Owensboro Black Expo. And real quick before she gets started, speaking about the Owensboro Black Expo, I am kind of disappointed in some of our community people. If some of you did not know, they do have a scholarship available for students. I mentioned that same scholarship to some of the students from the area, and they were like, "Huh? I didn't know of that." And I was like, "Whoa, something's wrong with that." So we gotta do better as far as telling these people, our youth, about opportunities that are out there. And I know the Black Expo has been stirring the heck out of that scholarship. So there's no reason why our young people do not know that. Let them know that there is a scholarship available from the Owensboro Black Expo. Let them know. So without further ado, I do invite Tiffany Wright Davis, and she will be speaking about the topic I like me. It's all you.
Just real brief, I will give you a quick information about the scholarship. You can go on the Facebook page. It's the Owensboro Black Expo, and you can send us an email. We're pretty quick about responding back, sending you the application. It does have the requirements listed on the application. The deadline is August 31st, so you have until next week. The days are approaching very quickly. We will be giving out two $500 scholarships, and if it's just one person who applies and they meet the requirements, and it'll just be that one person who would just get the $500. But we pretty much been trying to share it. Um, yeah, so if you know anybody, it's between ages 16 to 24, I believe. But just go on our Facebook page, The Black Expo, and you can get the information.
Thank
But
you.
for the young ladies, I will be speaking about I like me. I would say I had a hard time trying to just trying to figure out what exactly I am going to say. I don't know any young ladies, to get any information on, so I can try to give some type of advice. So I kind of broke it down to if I was talking to myself, if I was 16, 17 years old. So it would be dear younger me. So I would want to say, as far as, sometimes we kind of deal with insecurities, we don't have that self love, we don't have that self worth or self respect for ourselves. And, sometimes we struggle as far as I may not like my body type, or I don't like my hair, or I just don't like me because I'm comparing myself to my friends and my peers. So the first one I want to say is, dear younger me, know your worth. So your self worth is a feeling that you are a good person who deserves to be treated with respect. So that is your worth. And the first key point I want to say is, be around people who support you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be around people who support you. And number two, drop your worries and your insecurities. And number three, believe in the process. The process will follow through, but you have to believe in it. The second one I want to talk about is self love. And this is regards to one's well being and happiness. You know what they always say, if you don't love yourself, nobody can love you. You have to love yourself first. And the first point I gave is, fall in love with yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself. Number two is, eliminate self criticism. Stop criticizing yourself. You may be a plus size girl, or you may be too skinny, but you have to love yourself. You have to stop criticizing yourself. Number three, acknowledge your effort. You know, it's a daily battle, and I'm not even just speaking to the young girls. It follows through into adulthood. It's a daily battle.
Right.
We always want to compare ourselves to others. And number four, and I like this one, award yourself for the small things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, that's what self love is. Go get a pedicure, get your nails done, even though my nails is not done right now. But love yourself. That's how you have self love. And last one is, dear younger me, have self respect for yourself. Self respect exhibits toughness. I feel like I'm pretty tough and I'm rough around the edges, but that's where that respect comes in. I respect myself enough that I'm not about to let anybody just talk me any type of way, or
Mm-hmm.
trying to, try to persuade me to do things that I know is harmful for my body or for my mind or my soul. So self respect forms the foundation of all the decisions you'll ever make. Um, treat yourself and treat yourself in how you allow others to treat yourself. So you have to treat yourself right so others will treat you right. So the 3 points I have for that is setting boundaries for other people. Don't let anyone get on your nerves. Claim your peace. Claim your peace. Don't allow yourself to be used. Just don't allow yourself to be used. Number two, don't feel diminished by constructive criticism or advice. Too many times we listen to what others tell us, but if it's in your heart and you feel like it's right, continue to do that. And that goes back into believing in the process. When I said, when you know your worth. And number three, for self-respect, is be bold in your walk. You have to be bold. So I just want to encourage all the young ladies to have self-love for themselves, have self-worth, and have self-respect. Because if you do those things, if it's for your friends or a young man that you're looking at, they will respect you. You have to respect yourself first. So that's all I have to say. I was just trying to keep it under the time, but if anybody have any questions, feel free to ask.
I do have a quick question before I start you on. What is something that you think we could do as a community to continue spreading the awareness as far as having that self respect, continuing that thing as far as not just respecting yourself but also respecting others and your boundaries.
I mean, as far as that, especially when it comes to the young ladies, I would say I hate to give so much advice because my point is I really want to talk. I want to hear it from the youth. That's just my problem. As far as I don't have all the answers, and I feel like sometimes adults don't have the answers. I feel like the youth need to come to us to seek the advice. But I can always tell them, have self respect for yourself. It's always about the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, even the way how you talk. But
That's right. Well, I do want to just put something out to the Black Expo. I know y'all did a couple of events earlier this year before the whole pandemic took place. What do you think is something that we could do to get more people involved in the Black Expo, involved in us looking to Empowerment Summit? What could we do to get more youth involved so that they can know as far as what's going on in our area?
Well, as far as I would say like today, I was at Pinky's and Drayson Williams was there and Deidre Carbon. We were just all talking but I walked around in West Fifth Street. I'm trying to see who's registered to vote. But the main thing is we have to go there. We have to come to them. We cannot continue to sit at home on our phones on Facebook. Everybody don't see everything on Facebook, and just like the scholarship. So we try our best to get out in the community as much as we can, but due to the COVID, it's kind of hard. But I don't know, and that's one thing that we had a discussion about today. What can we do to get people to come along, to come on board? I encourage our young people to come on Black Expo because we need it. Like we really do. I mean, we have so many different mindsets, and there's so many things that we can get accomplished, but we need people to come onto the board. So if anybody's on here and you're willing and you're ready, hey, come on to Owensboro Black Expo. Send us an email, hit us up on Facebook because we need your young minds. I mean, I'm 30, but we need some young people.
I appreciate you, Tiffany, and thank you again for taking your time to speak on that topic as far as our life view. And what I want you to do is just pass it over to Louis Day, and I'm going to let him be the next speaker.
All right, here we go.
All right. Now, before we do get started, I want to give a brief introduction. Uday, he won Conference USA regular championship his junior year in college. He was one of 16 guys that came over from the Basketball Foundation in Nigeria. He's a former basketball player for the Kentucky Wesleyan College Panthers and assistant coach at Apollo High School. So at this time, Uday, the floor is now yours.
Well, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. There are some things we're going to talk about fatherhood, and it is a very sensitive subject, and I'm very passionate about it. And some of the things I'm going to say, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but sometimes you need to hit the nail on the head to get to the point. So, fatherhood. Some of us grew up with fathers in the home, and some of us did not. Personally, for me, where I came from, Nigeria, I was blessed to have a man of God and a phenomenal father. The man I am today, by the special grace of God, I credit to my dad. And for me, in this life, in my 28 years of living, he gave me a phenomenal dad. And being a dad is not all about making a child. When you are a father, when you're a dad, it is time to grow up. Personally, for me, I think that fatherhood is one of the best gifts God gave to mankind. Because the miracle of seeing a child being born, the miracle of seeing a child grow, impacting the life of that child positively, and having a special connection with that child, I think it's amazing. And it will bring me to our community. And I know that there are some fathers who try, but they used to say, tell me who is your friend and I will tell you who you are. When we walk down the street, me and DeMarcus, when we walk down the street and talk to these kids, the mindset of these kids, the direction where these kids are going, the way they talk, the way they think, you begin to ask yourself, where is the daddy? Is there a daddy at home? Is there structure and discipline? And this is why I'm calling on all our fathers in this community. because we are the X factor, we are the foundation, we are the leaders in our family. These kids, our daughters, our sons, our wives, our girlfriends, they will follow the direction we go. If a dad is doing drugs or running the streets, guess what the son is going to do? Oh, dad is
Same
doing
thing.
it. I'm going to do it in school.
Yeah.
That is the same way. If a dad will get up and go to work and go to church, guess what the son will do? The son will follow.
We'll follow it.
Be very intentional as fathers what we do, where we go, who we hang out with, because we have little ones who are looking up to us.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're a father, it's not about you anymore. It's not about what you want or what you need. It is a selfless position to give back to a young one who you're trying to impact their lives positively. And I'm talking about emotionally, physically, spiritually, discipline, and structure.
Yeah.
Handshake, making eye contact, teaching your kids about mental toughness and discipline. Teaching them that the world is not going to hand it over to them. Teaching them that they are not entitled. If you want it bad, you go work for it.
Yeah.
But in our communities, our fathers will have to be home, do this stuff. And 65 to 80% of the time, the fathers are not home.
Yeah.
And we are leaving the mothers to play the mom role and the dad role. And we need to do better. We will have to break the cycle somewhere, sometime.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that some of these fathers, some of these young men in our community with kids at home, if they have a second chance of coming back to right the wrongs they've done, you see them going down the same path that took them out in the first place. You begin to ask yourself, where is the love? Where is the selflessness? If you really love your family and your kids, are you going to be doing the same thing that turned you into jail in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
We as black men in our community, even myself included, we have to step all the way up.
That's right.
There is no reason why our kids will be killed down like in the street like they are cattle.
Yeah.
You begin to ask yourself, what is going on in the house? Where is the structure? Where is the foundation? And and I would also talk to our young men, maybe at the age of 16, 17, some things happen and okay, bang, you're going to be a child, you're going to be a father. Or maybe you have a girlfriend that is pregnant, you expect to have a baby, but you don't have a father in your life. But this is one thing I will say. Even if you don't know what it means to be a good father, you know what it means not to have a father in the house.
Yeah.
And you don't want to make the same mistake. You don't want your child to go through what you went through because your father was not in the situation when you were growing up. So you as a young man you're going to be a father in a couple of months or maybe in a year or in a 6 months, now you have to start making decisions that will keep you at home.
Yeah.
If everything that is going on in our community, you have to make the right decisions to keep you at home.
Yeah.
Because you home, you know that child, and that child will know you. And you will be able to instill morals, discipline, structure, and how he or she can carry herself or himself in the community.
Right.
I really
So
want to take this
I'm
opportunity,
right there with you 100%. And I definitely want to let you know as soon as we get the opportunity to, we definitely will be reaching back out as far as trying to get some of these young men to be a part of some of our events that we're going to be doing in the future. So just be on the lookout, and because we don't definitely going to be working together again. So, and I appreciate you spending your time to have that discussion with us.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all have any questions.
right.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity.
Also, don't forget, you all, if you have any questions or anything that you might want to ask the speakers, I did forget to say it, but just post it in there, and we'll do what we can as far as get the questions asked. Before I do bring the next speaker on, do not forget that we do have these gift cards. Here's a $25 gift card to Olive Garden. If you like, share, and post your name on here, that you will be on the drawing for this gift card. And for the kids, for the youth, we have this $25 McDonald's gift card. All they have to do is do a 30-second presentation as far as what they learned from the speakers. Make sure you post that video on the Facebook page of Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit. Post the 30-second video on the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit, and they will be entered in for the $25 gift card. So the next speaker that we have, I'm adding Sharice on. See if you can get on. Adding. All right, so we're get started the introduction. She is a social worker practicing for over 10 years in Louisville, Kentucky. She graduated from U of L in 2010 with a bachelor's degree in human outcome studies, and in 2013, a master's degree in social work. Of this year, she founded her private practice destination station, aimed at providing quality mental health and wellness education and resources to minority youth and women as well. So this time, Sharice, the floor is now yours.
Oh, hi. First off, DeMarcus, let me just say thank you for doing this. I was just telling my sister, well, hold on, before I backtrack, I'm in the car, so that's why this is looking this way. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of my time. But thank you for doing this. Thank you for having a desire to want to give back to your community, especially as a black man. We need more of this. So I'm so excited to be here, and I'm very excited for what you're doing in the community. So first, I just want to give you your flowers because this is beyond amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so I just go, DeMarcus, just jump in.
Just go. It's all you.
Okay, well, a little bit about me, you all. I'm very passionate about black people. I am definitely a black people empowerment, and I don't say that to minimize the experiences of other people, but I'm passionate about black communities because that's a community that I'm a part of, and that's a community that I feel that I can give back to in a different way that I see that the need is definitely there. So what I'm going to speak about today is particularly about African American youth. I may probably say some things about other minorities, but specifically everything I'm going to be speaking about is minorities because that is where my expertise is. That's my niche as far as therapy and social work. So that's my disclaimer before I begin. But I would like to say the mental health of minorities here in the United States is a public crisis. It is a public crisis, and particularly the mental health for black people is a public crisis. And I say that because I don't want to minimize it. I don't want people to think that this is not a big deal. I think 2020 has been an excellent year as far as shining light onto some of the transgressions that African American communities experience. And I'm very excited that we are now in the second phase where we are starting to heal from the trauma that was caused by 400 plus years of slavery. And with that healing that comes with our community, we have to embrace mental health. And I say that the same way that we have to take care of our bodies, we have to take care of our minds. I am a strong believer in maintaining our temple. I am a Christian. I believe in God, and God has called us to take care of our temple, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. And that's not just our physical body, that's also our mind. And the trauma that particularly black people have experienced is huge. You're talking about, again, 400 plus years of slavery. What comes with that is lots of systemic racism. You're talking about systems that weren't designed with us in mind. And the implications of that is we go into a lot of spaces that are not designed for us, and that is that trauma that comes with having to learn how to navigate spaces that didn't have you in mind. We minimize our trauma because we've learned to deal with things so much as a community. The resilience of particularly African American people is fantastic. It's amazing. I say we don't give ourselves enough credit for how amazing it is that, considering the things that we've experienced as a people, and we're here where we are in 2020. America, the experiences of Black people in the way that maybe Germany acknowledged the Holocaust, or some of these other countries and some of the things that's happened there. America just hasn't done that. I think 2020 again is the awakening, and I'm so excited that that is happening now, because we have to admit what happened and we have to acknowledge the transgressions that occurred to our people. And I think that's for everybody for a healing to take place. I say that to say is because the mental health of Black communities is in dire need. We have poor access to quality health care. It is very rare that you can find a mental health provider who looks like you if you are a minority. And what we do know is when you are not represented, then those stereotypes the health field. So what I have found in my experience as a social worker is I've interacted with social workers that will not go to communities with certain zip codes because of fears that they have of what that community may be like, what that community may act like, what those resources may be. And what we do know is that's not accurate. But it is important for me that I provide education for African Americans, particularly, in understanding that we are not all created equal. So you can't assume that when you walk in a room, particularly with those who are non-African American, that they understand the plight of what it is to be an African American. So if they can't understand your experience, then they definitely can't help you in healing your trauma. My main thing, DeMarcus, is empowering us to not think that other people are the key to us in our self-healing. I'm all about empowerment. I think it's very important that we learn to take control of our own well-beings, and that's not assuming that other people have what's necessary for the healing that we can do within inside of ourselves. So I say that to say that we've got to educate ourselves. We've got to that's why when you said Owensboro Youth Empowerment, I thought that was awesome, because I don't believe in other people doing for you. I do believe it's necessary that we teach people to do for themselves. So I'm all about, again, pushing us to understand how important it is for, if you notice that you have some high stress needs as far as anxiety, or if you notice that you are struggling with depression, and I'd like to say that looks different in African Americans particularly. So what, the DSM, what we used for diagnostics, that was written, again, with not Black people, African Americans, minorities in mind. A lot of those diagnoses were written by white men. So again, you're using a standard for diagnosis that wasn't created with you in mind. It doesn't have cultural references. So I say that it's very important that you recognize when things are not maybe stable for you, or where you're not feeling like yourself, and finding people who understand what those cultural needs may be. Because you can go into a doctor's office, and if a person doesn't understand the plight of what it means to be Black in America, then they could highly minimize your experience, dismiss it. And we've seen that happen, particularly me. I've seen that happen often with a lot of my students who have previously worked with people who may have been non-familiar with cultural competency in therapy. So if more than anything, I'm just going to say, don't assume that the professional is the expert. You are the expert of you. So my empowerment, particularly with young people, is you guys are the information generation. You can look on your phone today and gain so much information. Whereas like my generation, we had encyclopedias, we did have computers, but we didn't have it in the way that you guys have, right? So I say all that to say that you are highly capable of learning to advocate for yourselves. So, young people, don't assume that your mom has to be the one to tell you that, hey, you're not acting like yourself, you're seeming a little sad. No, like if you recognize that you may not be having the same emotions or feelings that you find healthy for yourself, then speak up for yourselves. I want to definitely make sure that young people understand, and particularly adults dealing with young people, do not minimize their experiences because you learn to deal with your trauma. We are changing narratives. So doing things just because our parents did it, stop that. Stop that, and particularly in African American communities. Just because your mama did it, your daddy did it, don't mean that it was healthy and that it was right. We've got to learn to break generational curses. We've got to learn to take back our power. And that means if things weren't healthy, changing that. And I can go and rant on all kinds of stuff, but just because we ate unhealthy generations ago and that was okay then, don't mean that we need to still keep doing it, because again, what we eat also affects our minds. So that's why I'm saying we've got to learn to empower ourselves. We've got to take control of our health. And I say that, young people, because you have information available to you right now. If you do not know, research. Telehealth is awesome to me. I'm big on telehealth right now because I love the idea that you can access a therapy. So you can access a therapist from the comforts of your own home. So if, say, you're in Owensboro and you don't have a therapist who is culturally competent, and I say that all therapists are not created equal. You do not want to go see a therapist who has never experienced. So let's say you're African American female, 15 years old. I would not recommend to go see a therapist who has never interacted with non-minorities. I mean, with minorities, because she has limited perspective in understanding you. So even if she's fully trained, you have to understand the experiences of the population that you're interacting with to properly be able to engage and provide quality healthcare. That's not to diss anybody, but I think that's something that we've got to stop doing, thinking that there's like a one size fit all when it comes to mental health, particularly for us as African American people. So take control of your health. So if you're if you're a 15-year-old girl and you notice that you are having some feelings that you're not comfortable with, or you've had some ideas and thoughts of hurting yourself or other people, first thing first, always reach out to a trusted adult immediately. Immediately. And if you don't have a therapist or a qualified healthcare provider in your area, the good news about telehealth is you can access quality mental health services anywhere now. You can find yourself. There is a many great websites. Black Girls Do Therapy is a great one if you're looking for a resource for Black girls who need therapy. I'm passionate about that. Destination Station is my company that I just started, and I will be working with minority women and girls. So I speak about that a lot because that's the population that I saw the need for. I struggle with my own mental health issues as a child. I grew up in Owensboro, where you all who are there understand that it is very limited as far as cultural experiences for those who look like us. So I internalized a lot of things as far as embracing my blackness and what that looks like, and just identity issues. And I didn't have someone who looked like me that I can necessarily talk to. So I strongly encourage Black girls to learn to speak out. Again, you are not crazy. You don't have to be too strong. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. And you matter, particularly Black girls. You matter. And I'm going to say that strongly because the narrative has not been pushed enough, where we are teaching each other love and understanding how important it is that we are cared for, respected, and heard. So find someone that understands that will listen, and that can help you heal. Don't feel like that's a weakness if you have to have that therapist that helps you deal with some things. I want to definitely address that real quick, because I know in the Black community we like to say, oh, that makes you weak, or you're not strong because you went to see somebody. Young people, stop that. Somebody telling you that is toxic. Okay, that is toxic. That ain't no different if you sprain your ankle and your homie over there telling you, oh, don't go to no doctor, walk it off. If your ankle hurt, you need to go see somebody. Wrap it up, get it tight, ice it up, and go and get yourself together so you can be back.
Yep, you still there? I think you lost connection. Yep. looks like we lost connection with her. But that was my high school friend Sharice Bone. She is in the Louisville area, and if you are in the Louisville area and you know someone there, you have friends and family there, recommend them to her organization that she just started again June 2020, and that name is Destination Station. So I think she does have a Facebook page on here. I don't know. I wanted to ask her that question, but I think we just lost communication. But um, yeah, mental health is definitely an issue in the Black community that we rarely talk about, and that's something that I want to see if probably the next few summits could be something in that area, talking about mental health. I won't say I learned, but I remember hearing from celebrity Taraji P. Henson when she did say that mental health is an issue that the Black community does not take serious as we should. We all go through a mental health issue, but it's the way that we handle it. Like, we don't need help, or it's not really bothering us. Some things do bother us, but we do need to talk with a professional about that. So don't let that be an issue that we cannot overcome, because we can do that. So again, Sharice, thank you for that. I'm sorry that we lost connection, but thank you for being a part of this Youth Summit event. Let me see if I can get the next speaker. I don't know if he's on. Eric, are you on? All right, I just sent you an invite to see if you're able to get on. Are you on a laptop or are you on your phone? I just tried to connect you, but it didn't have your information on here. Oh, there you. Yeah, I just sent you an invite. All right, did you get the invite? Again, you all, thank you all for joining me with this youth summit event. I do wish that we had a better opportunity to meet in person, but we do kind of look. We have to look at the literal aspect of it all. It's better to be safe than sorry. So health comes first. But just be aware, as soon as we get back to our old selves, we will continue working on. Uh, it's not giving me. Hmm. Oh, it's not getting me on there. Let's try it again, but let me just go ahead and go to the next one and see if this works. Brianna, are you there? Yep, there you are. Brianna, I just sent you an invite. See if you can accept it. Now, I don't know if you all went to my Facebook page, but try to go on there to see if you allow you to join in. Because I know some people did share it. I really appreciate you all for sharing it. And also, don't forget, speaking of the Black Expo, if there's anyone 16-24 that is looking for a scholarship, the Owensboro Black Expo does have two $500 scholarships that they are giving away. So check out their Facebook page to get more information about that as well. So do not forget that. All right. I'm waiting on one of you, Brianna or Eric, whichever one comes on first. Y'all the last two. All right, give me 1 second. I wish I was really technological with this. Still no notification. Wow. Hold on 1 second. All right, people. Let me try something real quick. I'm gonna finish this video and I'm gonna log back on. Oh, hold on. Send you invite. Oh, there we go. Never mind. Come on in. It's adding. But it's probably my phone going slow, so my apologies. I'm not updated technology as far as with some of you all. I'm still old school. Oh, it says adding. Come on, Facebook. Don't mess up on me now. We've had a good turnout. No answer. Let me try it again. Hold on 1 second. All right, add you. Yep, it's coming. There we go. All right, so there's our next speaker, Brianna Greer. So let me give you a quick bio of Brianna. She is a senior at Kentucky State University. After she graduates, she plans to become a school guidance counselor and help with college and career placement. She also has a passion for the youth in her community, and she is the founder of Breaking the Cycle, which is here in Owensboro, Kentucky. And as some of you already know, I told you last week, I'm going to be helping Brianna with her program, Breaking the Cycle, and she's going to be giving more information about that as well. So, Brianna, the floor is now yours. Okay, I can't hear you, Brianna.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go. Yep, I got you.
Hello, my name is Brianna Greer. I'm currently a student at Kentucky State University. And like you said earlier, also.
We can't hear you, Brianna. A little bit better. Now try it. Just a little bit. I can't hear it. Yeah, I can't hear anything, Brianna. Do you have earphones or headphones you could probably use? Yeah, I can't. All right, yeah, I give her a second. Um, let me try Eric again and see if we can try to reconnect. And once you get back in, Brianna, just try to the send me the invite because I already sent it to you. See if that works. Oh, that's a whole lot better.
Can
There
you
we
hear me
go.
now? Yeah, I think it was, I didn't have
Oh,
my access to my microphone on, so
all right.
that's what it
So
was in
it's
my
all you.
settings. But like you said, my name is Brianna Greer. I'm currently a senior at Kentucky State University, and I'm also the co-founder of Breaking the Cycle Mentor Program. A little bit about the program is June 1st, 2019, there was a Whitesville shooting, and we lost three young men to gun violence. We lost two who lost their lives. We lost one to the system. And many people don't like to elaborate on that, but I look at it as three losses because we lost two who lost their life, and the other one lost one to the system. So a little bit about how I founded the program was I actually went to a town hall meeting and I heard just a lot of things about what we can do to better our community with gun violence and the ideas that people were bringing to the table weren't. I mean, they were trying, but it wasn't ideal for what was going on with the current circumstances. So I kind of just took a stand and I stood up and was like, "Hey, I think we should do this." So after that, I got a lot of backlash from people in the community saying, "Why are you doing that?" And I kind of got discouraged. So, me being me, kind of gave it to God, and I just asked God, if this is my calling, show me. So, a few weeks later, well, months later, I did an event called Breaking the Cycle. And Breaking the Cycle was a gun violence aware event. And it was a really good turnout. We had speakers, we had law enforcement, we had people who were formerly incarcerated. We had another young lady who broke the cycle. Just a lot of different speakers come in and speak about how they overcame. So after that, I decided to do the mentor program. And a little about the mentor program, we are a program for troubled youth. And not only are we for troubled youth, we're also a support system away from home. So, for example, like there may be a mother out there for that support system. We bring in mentors, and we also have the master. Um, some of the things that we did last semester was we did college visits. We talked about starting your own business, just different things, because I feel like that the youth need to have a plan, because without a plan, it's kind of like
Yeah.
they're just on their own and they're going to wander in the world. So I tried to establish a plan. One thing I did bring to light this semester, what I'm going to, is mental health. Mental health is a big one. I realized when all the things were happening with the Black Lives Matter movement, everything, I did my research, and depression was at just about the highest for African Americans. And I know me personally, my mental health was it wasn't bad, but it wasn't normal. And I just thought I should bring that to light because anything that I go through, I always try to bring it to the program because some people may be afraid to speak up and talk about it. So we're definitely going to focus on mental health. Our boys side of the program, we have definitely grew. We only have about 3 boys, but that's better than last semester. We only had 2. I also partnership with the Wanda Joyce Foundation in Frankfurt. It's a nonprofit for families affected by incarceration, and I also work hand to hand with Mr. Gio. Um, his program is called Operation Making a Change, and he does something similar to me. He just goes around schools and he talks to the children. Every time I give an opportunity, I like to network. And what I like about both the programs is that some of the things that I may be struggling with back at home, I learn from him, and I can go back to Owensboro and benefit with it. And like I said, we're always open for other kids. Currently, we're not looking for mentors because of the low potential kids we have, but we're always trying to get more kids in. And yeah, that's a little bit about the program. If you have any questions, you can contact me or let a mentor know. And you can find us on Instagram at Breaking the Cycle _19
Okay, so you
or
do
on our
have the
Facebook
Facebook
page, Breaking
page.
the Cycle.
Okay. So
Yes, I do.
just before I do let you go, what is something that we can use as far as from the program to benefit from breaking the cycle? What is something that
I'm
we
sorry,
can
could you
use
say
from
that
your
again?
program that we can use to help benefit breaking the cycle? Like, what's something that we can get out of it?
One of the things that I'm very excited for is the men's side, such as the fatherhood thing. Because with the mentors, I know there's a few young men in the program who may not have a father figure, so I feel like that would be very beneficial because they're getting the fatherhood, which also shows them how to be a man. And on the women's side, one thing I stress with them about is self love. So I think that'd be very beneficial to the community because as women, we need to learn how to love ourselves. And with the young men, you do need a role model to show you how to be a
Yeah,
man if you don't have a
I
father
definitely agree
figure at
with
home.
that. And that was some of the things that we definitely spoke about. One thing that I definitely want to remind the people is if there is something going on as far as for a program that is beneficial for your child, take advantage of it. And one reason why I always bring that up is because I notice a lot of people, a lot of parents, should I say that, they say a lot of times that there's nothing going on in the community. They use that same excuse as far as when their child gets in trouble with the law. And the first thing I always say is, have you looked recently as far as some people or organizations? As I told you, I've been doing the Youth Summit for 13 years. So that should be no excuse right there. Brianna's doing Breaking the Cycle. There are programs, there are people, there are organizations that are going on, but we are waiting for till the last minute to actually get involved in it. If there's something going on that we can be of support to one another, we need to take advantage of that, which is why I'm definitely looking forward to helping Brianna with her program because that is something that we need here in this community. And I can't stress it enough, based on, like, as you said, what happened a year ago. If that wasn't a sign or if that wasn't a notification as far as what we need to do in the community, I don't know what else is. And the fact that now this year, a year later, we still have another issue as far as with this gun violence with our young people. What are we going to do about it? Because that is an issue that we have, and we have to we have to end it now before another innocent person becomes another one. And having the program such as Breaking the Cycle, I'm not saying that that is the answer. We don't know what the exact answer is. Take advantage of whatever resources are out there. The resources are limited, but if someone is doing something to make a better opportunity for us, then we do need to take advantage of it. So, Brianna, I thank you for continuing doing Breaking the Cycle. And like I said, I do look forward to working with you because that is definitely needed in our community, especially with our young men. So I'm telling the parents again, you have no excuse not to get your kids involved in something because there are things out there that are taking place. You just have to use the resources that we have. So do you have anything you want to add on before I let you go?
Yes. And another thing I want to say is be the change you want to see. I see a lot of people are caring more when when lives are being lost, but you have to care on the good days and on the bad days. Like you just can't care when someone's life is gone. Like, and if you do care, that's great, but you have to keep applying pressure. Like you have to keep going, keep going. You can't give up on them because I feel like they need people who they can rely on, and that's exactly what we need. We need more people in the community to speak up and be there for them because they really just need people that can be consistent and reliable. But DeMarcus, I just want to say thank you
Thank
for
you for
doing this.
joining.
This
I
is
really do
amazing.
appreciate it. So right there, we have Brianna Greer, that she is with the program Breaking the Cycle. So again, I encourage you all parents, take advantage of it, what she's doing, because it's definitely something amazing, which is why I said I'm going to help as much as I can with it, because it's definitely something that we need for our young people. So we cannot say that excuse, there's nothing for them to do. There is something for them to do. You just, excuse me, you have to use what we have in order to watch it. So again, and also if there's any person or organization that is doing something that could benefit our young people, we all need to take advantage of it because, like you said, if there's nothing else going on, use something that is going on. So I do wish that there was a opportunity that we can actually meet in person, so that we can ask all the questions, have more discussion. But the fact that you all joined right now on Facebook Live, I appreciate that truly. I really do. Thank you all. Again, before I do close, do not forget all the parents sharing, tagging. I appreciate it. You will be entered in for the drawing for this $25 gift card to Olive Garden. As soon as this video is over, have your child do a 30-second video what they learned from this event. Share it on the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit so that I'm able to view that video and put them in the drawing for this gift card. Share their video on the Owensboro Youth of Empowerment Summit Facebook page so that I can put them in the drawing for this gift card. So again, thank you all for joining. I hope you all learned something, and I definitely appreciate all the speakers that spoken to Tiffany, to Reverend Payne, to Sharice, to Uday, to Brianna, and I wish there was a way that I could have got Eric on here. Cause he's definitely one person that I wanted to add, but for some reason we were unable to. But if you all do not know, his name is Eric Logan, and he is the executive director of the Light of Chance Incorporated in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and also in Madisonville. Me and Hunter, we had the opportunity to meet him when we worked at the Nebula Center. He had a youth summit that he did back then, and we thought about taking a group of kids there. And I wish the kids was still available so they can tell you their experience of how much they enjoyed that. Um, that was an awesome time. The way that he did it, it got me more involved as far as what I want to do with the youth summit. And I wish he was here to explain as far as all that he was doing in the Bowling Green, Madisonville area. So Bowling Green, Madisonville, they're doing stuff with the youth. And the question is, what are we doing here in Owensboro with our youth? So we have organizations, we have people, we have resources. We have to be the ones to use what we have. So again, thank you all for joining. I hope you all enjoyed it. Um, and the last thing, last but not least, I'm going to be sending out a survey, and I want you all to really use that survey and answer the questions. I want to get you all's opinion as far as what you thought about this event. If there's ways that we can make improvements or something you didn't like, or you did like, or you think we could probably could have did something better, please take that survey. I won't know as far as what could be done if you all do not answer the survey. So go to the Oh Yes Facebook page, and the survey will be on there. So I hope you take the survey, answer the question, so that we can get an idea as far as what we can do next time. So again, thank you all for joining. I appreciate your support. And until next time, see you all later.